Kia ora koutou, and welcome to South Pacific Muscle for our inaugural episode. So we've got myself, Nate, and Mike Tab here, and really, I guess we decided to put this up because we wanted to get a bit of a focus on New Zealand, Australian, and the Pacific Island bodybuilding scene. And our idea is that we'll be doing a bit of contest coverage, talking to local bodybuilders, promoting people, do lots of positive stuff, really, having some Q&As, that type of thing. So without further ado, I'll pass over to Mike to introduce himself.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Mike Tab, former bodybuilder, NZIFBB. Last time I competed with them was 1999, last century. That's sort of starting to show my age a little bit. I'm a coach. I have recently been judging NABA competitions. Husband, father, wannabe comeback kid last year, had a crack at NABA after a 20-year break last year. I'm a school teacher. I've got a phys ed degree, specialised in sports psychology, biomechanics, and nutrition. But I guess I'm a little bit more bro scientist now.
Bro science is all good, my friend. Look, I can't match you there on those qualifications, but I've been training now since I was 12 years old. So I've joined the gym when I was 15, so 30 plus years in the gym. I've done about 15 bodybuilding shows. First one back in 97. I think you'll remember that one, Mike. And 12, 15 strongman competitions, probably 15 plus powerlifting shows as well. So I've been around the traps. I've been really lucky in terms of who I've worked with. So I got to work with guys like Dave Smith, who's one of our top New Zealand IFBB pros, and it's been a pretty successful coach, I've got to say. So I owe a lot to him. Also worked with Ruben Martin, and luckily enough now working with Jamie Christian. So you might know him as the Giant. So over in the UK. So good getting to work with him, and he's about to do the Alicante show in Spain, which is coming up. So big IFBB pro with Big Rami, James Hollinghead, etc. Samson. So we might cover that in a couple of days, see how we go. In the interim, I think we want to have a look at some of the shows that have been, because it's been a really interesting year. You know, I mean, it's been a hard year. So, you know, if you've done it hard, guys, you know, kudos for hanging around, and those that got on stage, well done. We've had a couple of shows that I know NABA New Zealand have cancelled their regionals.
Yeah, that's right. No regional shows this year. Open entry to nationals. So if anybody's in shape, 3 weeks till NABA Nationals. Straight entry. Into 2 weeks out, so you've got a week to decide.
You can get ready for a show in 3 weeks, can't you, Mike?
I've already been going 10. I don't think I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So we've had a number of shows cancelled. I know that a couple of people have got straight through to the nationals for NZIFBB, which is understandable given, you know, those guys in Auckland have had a second lockdown, and they've been doing it pretty tough. And luckily enough, we'll interview a couple of those guys in the next week or two before that. But I thought we'd kick off and review some of the shows that have been. So I think a lot of shows were cancelled, but I think we had the South Islands was the first one. We've had the Wellingtons for Federation last week, and we've had the INBA, the Nationals. So we've had Nationals last weekend. So maybe start at the start, and we'll go back to end of August. We had the NZIFBB South Islands. So I'll try and bring that up on the screen here. I think. So look, before we go to those things there, we'll just do a bit of gratuitous self-promo. Hey, so look, really appreciate it if you'd follow us on Insta. Just got the page up in the last day, South Pacific Muscle on Insta. We'll be putting our Facebook link in there for our channel. Facebook. We'll put our YouTube channel up there. Look, we're looking to promote New Zealand bodybuilders, Australian bodybuilders, those from the islands, and there's a couple of them up there, a couple of our greats. But anyway, without further ado, the South Islands. So, who have we got there? I have written it down here so I didn't forget. So we had Jason Manning there winning the men's physique. In the figure, we had Ondine Travis, I think I've got the name right, and Ethan Rowe with the classic. Looking quite good there. I quite like that look. Got Shelley McCallum coming down. I think she's an Auckland girl, I think. And she won the wellness class. And I know you wanted to talk about the classes a bit later. Dom Finuti. I hope I said your name right, Dom. Now, this guy is the one I think I'd seen him and said to people, oh, he wasn't really in great shape. But I had a look at some other photos. This guy was in shape and he's got a lot of mass on him, you know. So good win there for Don in the men's bodybuilding. And in bikini, we've got Mary Hatting. So on the end there, Mary. Any comments on that one, Mike?
Yeah, I knew a couple of people from here that headed up, and I've had a bit to do with Shelley. She competed in NEBA, but was flipping between classes, figure and shape and that sort of thing. So she might have found her place in wellness. She looks good there.
Yeah, I think she looks great.
Promotes herself pretty well on Insta as well. So look her up.
Yeah.
The classic, there was a guy from here that he won his class, but he apparently missed out by 1 point in the overall. He was Dylan Blackley. So and I saw him I saw a bit of the live stream of this, and man, his glutes were shredded. He was in shape. So it may not show up from these photos, but this guy must be phenomenal to have beaten that, because Dylan big body, about 6'1", comes in about 107 shredded. So he's a big guy.
Look, I've seen some photos of Dylan too, and he looked good. So you know, again, we're looking at photos here on the internet, so we're only making calls off that. But look, this guy that won the classic, to get that win in against Dylan, you know, he must be looking pretty sharp, because Dylan was he was on point.
Yep.
Okie doke. So we'll move through to the South Islands. So South Islands. Move through to the Wellington show, which was last weekend, and there's the overall lineup.
Yeah, so there we've got on the left hand, we've got Lewis, who won the men's physique. We've got the wellness winner, Laura Pigo. Stephanie Hawkins next to her, who won figure. The men's overall bodybuilding, Nick Heatley. Bloomfield, who won bikini. And on the right-hand side there, Andrew Murray, who won classic. Yeah, so good lineup there.
Yeah, look good. That's good. Interesting lineup. Look, we'll bring up Nick. He won the overall. There he is. It's a good photo, Nick.
Yeah, look, I don't know if that's the best, but I saw some better ones. On all his side shots, he looks really good. Like, he's got good size through his chest, delts, arms, back. From the front, he looked a little bit, just a touch thick in the waist, and you can see he probably needs a little bit more sweep in his quads there to be competitive with the likes of our guest coming up later on.
Yep.
But look, one of the things I noticed about him when I had a bit of an Insta stalk was how much progress he's made in the last sort of 2 or 3 years. So if you got those photos up, mate, we'll take a look at that.
Yeah. I'll just have a look at this. There's another photo of him up here. I quite like that photo. Good looking photo.
Yeah.
Anyway, he has got some photos there from a wee way back, and you're right. This guy has come a long way. So look at this. You wouldn't think it was the same guy, would you?
Yeah, he's come a long way.
Yeah.
And I don't know that those photos, those competition photos from Wellington do him justice either. I saw a couple when I scrolled through the ones on Facebook where he looked like he looked shredded. He looked really lean. So his condition was great.
Yeah, guys. So if you want to follow Nick, you want to follow Nick and give him some support. 30 years as a Lion. That's him. So again, well done, Nick. Well done. It was a good showing. And Andrew Murray.
Sorry to interrupt there, dude. I just noticed there it was 2017 Mr. Wellington Classic, and now 2020 Open overall. So he's obviously made that progression up in weight to the Open class. Yeah, Andrew, he's quality. He's been around for a while. Brings a really good package. I've judged him in NEBA, and he's got good, thick, solid muscle. He's not very tall. He's really symmetrical. So yeah, he's pretty complete. And as we were talking about earlier, his calves just jump out at you. You know, he's got massive calves.
Yeah, as I say, Andrew is from Napier. So I've had the pleasure of training with Andrew probably, could be 10, 20 years ago now. No, it'd be 10, 15 years ago. And when I first got into bodybuilding and I trained, and look, the guy had a massive chest back then and balloons for calves. But those things said, he's got a very symmetrical physique. And I've got to say, you know, for a guy who's rolled into his 40s, that's the best showing he's ever had. And he looked fantastic, really fantastic. So Coach Andrew Murray on Insta, if you want to follow Andrew, Well done, bud.
Yeah, look good.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Laura.
Yeah, I picked out Laura. She looked great. I mean, she's got a really good symmetry, nice shape, good muscle on her. What we sort of started talking about was the classes. I guess this sort of brings up. She looks like she's got better definition and more muscle than the figure winner next to her, Stephanie Hawkins.
Yeah.
So it kind of begs the question of what they're looking for in the classes, and if you know, potentially later on we might be able to get hold of some judges from the different federations.
Yeah. Look,
be judging that in NABA, then she's spot on for figure in NABA, I think.
Yeah, she does look to me like a figure competitor, and I guess you know NABA's criteria have been pretty fixed for the last couple of years. You know, I remember when they first brought in shape, there was the same sort of issue, but with the federation, you know, bringing in the wellness class, and now you've got the physique, and now again they're bringing back in the open women's bodybuilding. So I think there's a bit of a juggle going on. I know on their website, on the NZIFBB website, you can go and have a look at their classes, and they've got what they're judging against. Hard to know, really. I think it's just it'll sort itself out over the next couple of years, and we'll know what they're looking for.
Yeah, so from a judging perspective in NABA, they say, you know, you've got your 6 criteria and they're just weighted slightly differently for each class. And so whether or not we've got a really top quality wellness competitor there who's spot on for the class, and just I guess a figure competitor that's not quite at that standard yet, and that's why the difference, or whether that's actually what they're looking for in those classes, it's kind of hard to tell without speaking to a judge.
Yeah, we'll have a look at
Look at us. Get back to Laura.
Yeah, I'll try and skip to.
I'm sure people would rather look at Laura than this.
I hear you. All right, can I get across there?
So I had a bit of an. Back just with Laura, I had a bit of an Insta stalk on her yesterday.
Yep.
And I scrolled back a few photos, and I found from 2017 she's there with a new baby. Yep. So potentially she's had a baby in the last few years, so she's done a fantastic job to get back up there and get herself.
Look, she's done a fantastic job regardless. She looks amazing.
Laura PT, so look her up, follow her, contact her if you want to get in shape.
Steph Hawkins. So Steph was in the figure class, and I look at this photo, and to me, I would have thought it looks a bit more like a bikini shot, but then you turn to the next photo, perhaps she's got a bit of shape there coming through those shoulders, a bit leaner than I'd expect for probably a bikini competitor. So you're right, maybe a good young novice coming through.
Yeah, potentially.
Nice shot though, eh?
Yeah,
great back.
Shoulders, eh?
Yeah. Definitely, Steph, well done. That back looks fantastic, and the caps look great there too.
Yeah, couldn't have been a swimmer, could she?
Sorry?
Couldn't have been a swimmer in the past. Usually the women with the good back early on have got a background in some sort of swimming or rowing or something.
Rowing, yeah. But
those things don't happen over.
No, that's a great back. Rightio. We'll move on to the natties, and I really give big kudos to the guys in the naturals, because you know it's a lot harder to come down to that really low percentage body fat and hang on to muscle. Look, it's hard work doing it anyway, but the enhanced guys, the muscle wants to hang around a bit more. It's being aided in that respect. But the natural guys, you know, some of the condition that they're getting in, absolutely amazing. And look, this show, the INBA show, there's not a lot of coverage on it yet. I spoke to a couple of athletes today, and they're waiting on photos. So we've only got a few photos really that show a lot of what went on there. I'll see if I can bring those up. Let's see what we've got. Oh, here's J Rob. So J Rob is a young fella. Well, I always say young fella because I'm an old fella. But J Rob's, he's from the Solomon Islands, and he's training out of Hastings at the moment. So I met him the other day actually, and didn't know he was competing, and whipped his shirt off, had a singlet on, and ripped the lat spread, and he's just got that muscle that just pops, you know, and he's got the nice little joints, the clean kind of lines and skin without the lumps and bumps that you get perhaps in the enhanced guys with the, you know, the real freaky guys, but a neat little physique. And he came away with the win actually for the overall. And here he is, and he's pictured with an old friend of mine, Donald Parlour. And look, Don was the biggest man I had ever met when I was a young fella. When I was 15, there's a great photo of him. I think he's about 19 at the time, on the cable crossover that was in the local paper, and he was enormous. You know, I've seen him bench 190 raw for reps back in the day when 140 was a massive bench. And this guy's now 52, 53 maybe, and still got a ton of mass on him as a natty, you know, so very impressive. Good to see Don back up there. What else we got there? Another photo, bit of side on there of the boys. And the other guy that I really want to have a look at, there's a bit of an overall photo there. So I don't know even the names of the competitors. I had a look on the INBA website, couldn't find anything. So come on, guys, give us the information. People want to know it. But we've got Ali there, and so his Insta's up there, Elite Pro Ali. Now this guy, he does a bit of strongman. He does a bit of powerlifting. I saw he's back into heavy weights already. Unbelievable. Most of us would be sitting around eating pizza by this stage, but he won the classic overall, and that was a tough class. There were some good competitors in there. There's one guy that's pretty big in that class, and I know Ali sits around 74, 75 maybe in the off season. Sometimes got up a bit heavier, but he stays pretty close to his competition weight. So I think he was 70.4, I think, on his weigh-in, and you can see him there. Great physique. Get a look at another photo of him. Another one. That's him. So nice, real nice natural physique, and you know that real classic, I guess, Middle Eastern kind of lines. You know, really neat little shape. Really knowledgeable guy. Great to hear him. So you can follow him if you want to on Insta. Do you have any comment about the natties, Mike?
I was just really impressed with the condition they got in. You know, it's as I was saying to you the other day, I checked out that podcast with talking to the world champ, the natural world champ, and they talked about the similarities and differences between the enhanced guys and the naturals, and a lot of similarities there, but the big difference was the amount of time they took to come down.
Yeah, I was amazed by that, actually. I saw the same thing, and I was amazed at how similar it was. The only difference tended to be time frame. So us guys that diet for 20 weeks and think we're hard done by, you know, some of these guys are dieting 30 plus weeks for a show. And the only thing I really picked up, there was a lot of difference, and it was they don't tend to be as extreme in terms of cutting carbs, etc., to the really, really low points, which is, I guess, makes sense because you using those carbs to spare the muscle. So, you know, as a natural, you want to hang on to as much as you can. You haven't got the aid of being enhanced. So, you know, these guys have done a good job, and kudos to you guys. I think that the guy in the physique too, I think he looks fantastic. Look at that, peeled.
Yeah.
You know, so well done to all those guys and girls. Don't forget the girls that got up there. I'm just gonna stop that one. Look, it's time to eat, and you know, we just want to come back next week, and we've got an interview with one of the top competitors competing at the Nationals. We've also got an IFBB Pro lined up for an interview. So it's going to be some interesting stuff. So if you guys want to follow us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, add us on Insta, and look, at some point we'll do some Q&As. So anything of interest, fire in, and we'll keep a track on those.
Yeah, let us know what you want.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a great night.
Well, cheers, guys.